Welcome, my friends. Welcome to Prime Time, a Freddy's Nightmares podcast. I cut to David because I wanted you to see that he doesn't care about you in any way, shape, or form. And but we are here, and we're excited because one of the most bizarre pieces of Freddy Krueger ephemera is probably what we are going to talk about this week.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've talked about it before. There is a lot of content out there from books to other movies, of course, and this is probably the Bastion that a lot of people don't either know about or have any idea of how crazy it is.
Were you trying to say like the last Bastion?
Last Bastion? I don't know.
I feel like Freddy's Nightmares is actually the last Bastion of Freddy ephemera, but whatever. No. You don't. Do you even know what ephemera means?
No.
Okay, good. So you didn't look it up right before the show like I did. No, it means just kind of fringe stuff.
Gotcha.
Basically, fringe stuff. So we have this week Freddy's greatest hits.
Oh, do we?
And I know what you're thinking out there. I'm sure people are thinking, oh, this has got to be like, this has got to be like a Freddy, horror comedy
compilation
thing.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
No, it is a... It is an album. It is an album full of like a lot of cover songs from what era?
So we have basically.
Don't read the. I don't want to give away
I'm not
the
going to get
titles
deep
of
into it.
everything. Okay.
No, we have 4 covers out of 9 original songs or 9 songs total. So 4 covers, 5 original songs. And they date back mainly to like the mid 60s.
Yes,
what I can find.
They're very much what the kids would be into in the late 80s who like Freddy Krueger.
In 1987.
Yeah. In 1987. And what a year it was. And I do want to mention real quick that we do reference things occasionally that are visual here because we do have a video podcast available on our Patreon. Just go to freddysnightmares.com, click on Patreon, and select the tier that gives you video podcast access.
Yes.
And speaking of the bonus of video podcasting, I took the liberty of getting out one of my 2 original Freddy's Greatest Hits records, and David does not have an original Freddy's Greatest Hit.
No,
he has a repressing.
The 2018 Mondo re-release.
Oh, it's cute. It almost looks like a real record.
Well, but hang on. Let's talk about
nice,
the record because your record is just boring and black.
Whoa! Whoa! Wow!
Mine is red and green.
Congratulations!
Just saying.
Do you want a bitch? Do you?
Thank you.
Yes. Mine is just original.
Yeah.
So actual
one
fans
of yours.
like it. I have 2.
Yes.
The other one's still sealed.
I know.
And
I know.
I want to talk a little bit about what brought me to Freddy's Greatest Hits because it's an odd story all its own.
Yeah.
I don't know about your background into Freddy's Greatest Hits, but for me, I found out that the album existed. I had never heard of it or anything until I was in my early 20s. I was actually 20 years old when I found out it existed. And no joke, the reason I had my initial vinyl record of it. Do you know the story? Do you know why I have it?
I think I know one copy you have. I don't know about the other one. I think I know about you got the one, I think, from Andy, if I remember correctly.
That was the second one. Yeah, when Andy passed away, I inherited that.
Yeah.
But no, so the way that it happened was I heard that such a thing existed, so I ran straight to eBay.
Yeah.
And was like, I need this. I need this in my life, right?
Yeah, obviously.
So I grab a copy, or I look at it for copies on eBay. Why did I get the vinyl? Because it was $7.
Oh my God.
And the album bootlegs were $20.
Yeah.
Because people had like bootlegs for sale on there. But those were $20. So the reason I bought the vinyl was I was being cheap.
Yeah.
I needed the record, and then I took that vinyl to a buddy's house, and he recorded it to my laptop.
Nice.
And then that was what was on my iPod for a decade or more.
That sounds about right.
In fact, I took the liberty of obtaining higher quality recordings than the ones I've always had, which were right off of my personal vinyl.
As you should.
So, yeah, so that's how I first discovered Freddy's Greatest Hits, and I cannot overstate the album art, which is the show art for this episode, so you can see it if you're not even watching us. Freddy looks so ridiculous, and this was, I believe, before part 3.
Yeah, it was.
So he wasn't even that goofy yet.
No.
He wasn't even that silly yet, and he was already being marketed in this ridiculous way.
I came to Freddy's Greatest Hits from finding out about it through Never Sleep Again documentary.
That's how for real?
That was how, yeah. But keep in mind, that documentary came out when I was in high school, if not junior high. So that would have been like 2006, 2007.
That's not when Never Sleep Again came out.
Well, no, when I was in high school. I'm saying junior high school. Never Sleep Again came out, I want to say like 04 or 03.
What? I call David ass bullshit.
I mean, you can call David
and
ass
since
bullshit.
Jeff Freilich isn't here to correct you, which he is, I mean, which was my favorite part of those interviews, I have to check that. IMDb.
I'm curious, too.
Actually, I'm just going to go to thingsdaveiswrongabout.com.
Oh, it's going to get big quick.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's crashing my system.
Let's see.
It makes sense. I only have a terabyte of RAM. 2010.
2010. Okay. Okay. So that would have been right before I graduated. Okay. That makes a little more
wrong.
sense. I was,
You were wrong.
Well, that's how I found out about Freddy's Greatest Hits. All right.
You were wrong. Dead wrong.
I may have known about it sooner. Like it may have been mentioned on like I may have found it like on eBay or something like that before that. But as actually hearing it, it wasn't until like 2010, 2011.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that, but I don't like you trying to claim cred that you don't have by saying, "Oh, I was in high school. That is what I heard about."
I mean, it technically still was.
Yet. Well, no. Anyway. Kids these days.
Jerk.
You're always looking for clout you didn't earn, you know?
Yeah, I'm totally just looking for the clout of this.
No, that's you. That's you, babe.
100%.
So we're going to start this. I guess this is like, we're probably not going to listen to the whole songs. Never know.
Yeah.
But this is like a Freddy's Greatest Hits listening party.
It is indeed.
And you're all invited. We're going to listen to at least a little bit of every single song. And I guess we'll give Crackerjack commentary. David did do some research.
Yes,
which I was not expecting. I assumed you'd just show up and I'd be thrilled you didn't poop yourself, you know?
There is that.
I apologize. I'm in an interesting mood today. I've read about it. This is Welcome to Primetime. I'm Enrique Couto, and this is Double D Louis DeNoyer. And I think it's about time, unless there's anything else you want to say about your discovering of it, because I don't want to stomp all over you.
We'll get into it as we go through it, because basically what you'll find out as we start listening to this is that there are a lot of the same vocalists on this.
Well,
and that is mainly what I found out, because there's honestly, surprisingly, not a lot of information out there.
David, I mean, they're the members of the Elm Street group.
Yes, they are.
It's similar to Freddy's Nightmares, although we've gotten many answers now.
Yeah.
I would love to know how this happened.
I know, me too.
But those who are listening right now are like, that have never heard any of Freddy's Greatest Hits. Oh, and by the way, our episode where we did the Freddy hotline, our buddy Craig Cohen, he wrote in and he wanted to mention, he was like, man, if we had known that every day was only a 3-minute story, my parents would have let me call more than once.
Yeah.
He said that they let him call one time.
Yeah.
He was like, I could have called plenty if I had known it was that short. And I was like, sorry, man. You live and you learn.
That was an experience.
So, I would agree. So we're going to start off with Freddy's Greatest Hits. The first song on this, which is a cover of, ironically enough, Freddy and the Dreamers.
Yes.
And it's called Do the Freddy. And it is not opening.
Well, that's rude.
Because David said something racist. Why is it not opening?
I don't know.
This is the problem. We do the show live. So nothing ever works the way we want it to. What on earth?
It looks like the files moved.
What? David, distract them. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm just waiting to see what the technical solving is at this point.
I don't understand. It was literally playing.
I know,
before.
We just played it a little bit ago.
This is why my life is awful. That and David.
That's fair.
Mostly David.
But yeah, the album was released in 1987, so it was at the tail end of Dream Warriors getting ready to, I think, right before Dream Master. And it was put out by the label RIC Records, which, by the way, when I went in to do my research on them, found out that the only other thing that I could find them attached to was the soundtrack for a film called Tokyo Love. And that was it.
Wait, they only had one other credit?
According to Discogs, that's all I could find. They had a couple singles under their name, but as far as albums go, Tokyo Love was all I could find. Now, if I am incorrect about that, please write in and let me know that I'm wrong.
We are absolutely crowdsourcing any and all information we can get about Freddy's greatest hits.
Oh, excuse me. Tokyo Pop, not Tokyo Love. Tokyo Pop, original soundtrack from 1988. Other than that, they only have Carrie Hamilton's Never Forget, which was a single, and then they also have Tokyo Pop, several different releases of that original soundtrack.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
Hey, I do what I can.
And I have no idea why. I literally tested these.
Yeah, I know. We just played the one.
This is what I get for trying to do things well. I should have never tried to do anything well ever in my life.
We will get there. It's fine.
Will we?
Oh,
I like how you're like, we'll get there, as I'm the one who has to sit here sweating because you're like, I don't know computer.
I don't know your computer.
No, you don't. And you never will with that attitude.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's saying that
because unidentified developer.
Verify that this app is not malware? It's an MP3 file. Oh my God. See, this is this is unfair.
This is podcasting at its finest.
I'm gonna have to edit this out.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I like you're like, oh, poor you who has to do all of that work. Must be nice to just show up and be dumb. And that's
I don't
all you
think
have
you
to
should
do.
edit it. This is exactly what the people want.
What I want is for this to play. By opening this app, you will be overriding system security. I want to. Okay.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, now but it let me open one of them, but not the other ones. Well, we'll just start with Do the Freddy. Oh my God, I'm so annoyed. So here we go. So this is a cover of a Freddy and the Dreamers song.
From 1965.
Here's Do the Freddy, which, by the way, I know how to do the Freddy.
Oh, I know.
I'm Freddy, and this is for you.
Don't you just think Freddy Krueger when you hear this riff?
Hear the happy feet dancing to
The beat of the Freddy. He just laughs during most of the songs.
Screams and laughs during them.
Now here we go. Kick your feet up, swing your arms up to move your head both ways like you see him do. Yeah, doing the Freddy, by the way, is a calisthenic exercise. I know, and I was jamming it because I like this album. It's so dumb and great.
This album.
And no, I've not found any material of Freddy promoting this. No music video, no television commercials, nothing. Head both ways like you see him do, then to the swinging beat of the Freddy. He's just having such a great time. Bam, 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 bam. I'm Freddy, and this is for you. Swing your arms up to move your head both ways like you see him do. So, David.
Yes.
What were you thinking when you first heard the opening track of this as a Freddy Krueger fan?
So I actually heard this for the first time, this particular one, at your house.
No way!
Yeah, when you put it on that one time, that was the first time I ever heard the opening of it.
But I thought you said you would... Oh, so you had heard of the record in 2010, but you've never heard it.
Yeah.
I brought it to you?
Basically, yes.
I didn't know that. I remember it now, actually, because... I remember I sunk my phone to the soundbar in my living room, and I was like, oh, you're in for a treat. And you were like, what is this? I have introduced more people than I care to admit to Freddy's greatest hits. I mean, I have a lot of people.
That's a badge you need to wear proudly, though, because like we said, it's like people don't understand what this album actually is until they hear it, because they just kind of expect, Fat Boys with Are You Ready for Freddy, Dokken with Dream Warrior, like all those like Freddy-centric songs that we kind of knew about, even though Freddy's technically only on Are You Ready for Freddy?
Well, sure.
And you also had Nightmare on My Street, which I don't know what era or what exact year that was, but that wasn't even Freddy. I mean, that was just a Freddy imposter.
Yeah. But no, so you were, I take it this was not what you would expect
Not
from
at
a Freddy
all.
Krueger album.
No.
And that's only you experienced that.
Yeah, entirely. Just me.
If you were listening to this program and you had heard Freddy's Greatest Hits when it came out, email us at Freddy's Nightmares Pod at gmail.com.
We want to hear from
you.
We
want to know what your reaction was. I want to know what that 80s kid running, hoofing it from the record store, carrying Freddy's Greatest Hits, so excited. I mean, like moments away from like premature ejaculation, gets into the house, slams it on their record player, locks the door, tells their mom to go make them chocolate milk, drops that needle down.
And we
then,
do the Freddy.
And then what do they hear? They hear Do the Freddy. And then, of course, they hear Dance or Else. Now, this is one of the originals, right?
Yes.
Well, I would hope so, because Freddy's steps work best at night.
Yeah, Dance or Else is written by Kevin Kelly and Stephanie Davy. She's the female vocalist on all these. Kevin Kelly now had worked with James Taylor, Arlen Roth, and Edgar Winter before Edgar Winter went to Edgar Winter Group.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, it kicks. It slaps, as the children say. Dance. And listen to this. Bum, bum, dance or else. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. So I guess one of the points of this album is dancing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because we do the Freddy.
Do the Freddy.
Which, seriously, search Do the Freddy. Freddy and the Dreamers with an IE, F-R-E-D-D-I-E on YouTube, and watch them do the Freddy.
Yeah.
You literally kick one leg up and both arms flap up, and then you kick the other leg up and then both arms flap up.
That's the way you do it.
I used to teach people how to do the Freddy. When I lived in Jersey, I made every girl I dated listen to the Freddy's Greatest Hits. I used to force them to listen. So, there you go.
Dance.
The amount of Freddy just laughing.
Yeah.
So good. Steps work best at night. He almost sings a couple of times like this.
Yeah.
Scared, but you think you got the cure?
Check out Freddy's manicure.
This is the only way this album could have been done, because I don't know how an album of just Freddy would have worked.
It would be like that album that Shatner put out that had Rocket Man on it.
Yeah. All the covers. Oh my gosh.
A rock it man. Oh! Bitch.
I just love that it's Freddy's Greatest Hits, because we didn't even know Freddy had any hits before this.
No, we did not. Work best at night. So, you should reach out to the company that did the reissue.
Oh, it's Mondo. Mondo did it.
I know. I'm saying you should reach out to them. They might know who.
I definitely want to, because they had a whole write up on the back too that we'll get to as well, about basically not so much the history, but just what was when it released and what the craze was and everything. But Mondo put it out in 2018, because other than that, it was super hard to find.
Yep. Not when I got it.
Yeah, I bet not.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, you can't talk through that whole sweet bitchin' guitar solo. You got to. Come on, everybody, dance or else. The best thing about this is playing it for Freddy fans who've never heard it before. So, in many ways, this is like you're just hanging out with me, and I'm forcing you to listen to Freddy's Greatest Hits, which has happened many a time in my own home.
I would imagine so.
Hey, you know what? When it works, it works.
It got me into it.
So, did it?
Yeah.
Come on, Dave, dance or else. Never do that again.
Too late.
Oh, no. Now Dave's swaying. He's doing the white guy sway.
Oh, this is so wonderful.
Well, and for those who are not keeping score, this song is 4 minutes and 30 seconds, too. Like, it's not just a quick poppy BS.
No.
They let these studio musicians just go. Dance or else. I know we've been teasing that we were going to do this to each other since we started this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably going to be the last thing we can do to put off starting the next season.
Well, we still have to do season 1 wrap up at some point.
Oh, yeah.
That'll probably be next week.
Okay. Wait for it. Freddy, the man likes to laugh.
I want a supercut of him just laughing on this whole album.
I mean, there is a supercut of just every time he said bitch
Oh my God.
on YouTube.
Of course there is.
Now, for those who are like, well, that may not have been very representative of Freddy.
Yeah.
What we really need is like a 1950s standard song.
1965 again, actually.
1965?
Yeah, 265s.
I apologize for not actually knowing when In the Midnight Hour was published.
I love Wilson Pickett, okay?
I've always liked that song, but I've never known the original author. I've always heard covers. It's
So,
very covered.
You know who Wilson Pickett is, correct?
Bobby Boris Pickett?
No, Wilson Pickett, the guy that did the Land of 1,000 Dances, the na 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 na.
Wait, are you talking
na.
about the Public Enemy from WCW? Nah, 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 nah. La-di-da-di-da-di. We
Yes.
like to party.
Public Enemy.
La-di-da-di-da-di.
Yeah, Public
We like
Enemy
to
was
party.
in 1965. That's
La-di-da-di-da.
correct.
Well, that's the Public Enemy wrestling tag team.
I know.
No, Dave. So what is this person?
So Wilson Pickett, he had In the Midnight Hour, of course, is the song that we're going to cover, or as Freddie's going to cover here in a second. But he had Land of 1,000 Dances. I think he did Mustang Sally. I mean, he had a bunch of hits. I've actually got one of his albums of a greatest hits. He was a very, very well-known R&B artist, and I mean, he is well-known because of just he's got a lot of number-1 singles. So the fact that Freddie covered In the Midnight Hour, I love it. But man, we could have got Freddie doing Land of 1,000 Dances.
That would have been. That would have been something. So, for those who you may have heard this song covered ad nauseum.
Oh, yeah.
But not like this
No.
with Freddy Krueger.
Not at all.
In the Midnight Hour. Live.
I'm never ready for it.
And then here we go. Bum.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight
And the laugh.
hour.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my
Love.
love comes tumbling down.
I love that this is on here.
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody else around.
For those keeping score at home, this is the cover number 2 of 4 that we still have.
And track number 3.
Yes.
Bitch.
I'm gonna hold you in my arms and see if
It's interesting that they chose just kind of some standards.
Yeah.
Like this is definitely, I would call this a standard for like a dance album
100%.
like 10 years earlier.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is like, what? You know what kids love? In the Midnight Hour. They love that. They love that song. It makes them just want to go like this. Don't worry though, it kicks off in a minute. Is it here? Yeah. Take it home.
Bitch, 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 bitch.
Don't. Whoops.
Now
That
you're-
was me.
Now you're killing it. Oh my gosh.
What?
Just this album. That's what. This magical album.
I hope and pray that many people listening to this have never heard these at all.
Oh, I have to imagine they probably haven't.
You can listen to it. I don't think it's on any streaming service other than
No,
YouTube.
you have to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Just you and me.
Oh, here we go.
Just you and I. Bitch. Bring it down now.
This is the most high fidelity version of the song I've ever heard, too, of this specific recording.
The recording.
It's like got all kinds of stereo to it, too, which I'd never heard before.
This is awesome.
Oh, man. What was that meeting like with Bob Shea?
I would love to know. Because for the record, too, on the back of the album, it does say that none of the songs or recordings contained in this album have been a part or embodied in the soundtrack of any Nightmare on Elm Street motion picture. This album is not a soundtrack of any Nightmare on Elm Street motion picture, too, so they had to clarify
there's a
that.
full... I remember that disclaimer when I bought it. And yet, somehow, magically, none of these songs ever wound up on a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. You know what would have been the film to put a song from this on? Freddy's Dead.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been the perfect place to slap in like
Could have been
Dance
the
or
music
Else.
video at the end with Freddy just singing with the cast.
Yeah. Oh, God. All right, and now the Elm Street group wraps it up.
Yes, they do. So that was In the Midnight Hour, of course, like I said, covered by Freddy, but done by Wilson Pickett.
Right here on
1965.
KRGR. Your home for the worst hits.
Oh, man.
What did I say? So, what do you think the meeting was like? Okay, Mr. Bob Shea. Yes, I am Bob Shea, owner of New Line Cinema. Yeah, so I know that Freddy Krueger guy, the one who molests and kills children, right? Yes, that is our character that molested and killed children. I don't know why he sounds like John F. Kennedy. The more I do my Bob Shea, the more he sounds like JFK. Bob JFK.
Bob JFK.
JF Shea. Anyway. Well, I was just thinking, you got to really take advantage of the fact that you're so in deep with the youth market, So what I was thinking is, let's slap together an album with some studio musicians and they can cover songs kids love, like In the Midnight Hour or do the Freddy by Freddy and the Dreamers. But you see, it's a double entendre because, he's the Freddy. Yeah, he's Freddy, but they're going to do the Freddy. Okay. Wait, are you in? Yeah? Oh, God, I did this on a bet. Okay, I'll take the check. And that's how
we got Freddy's Greatest Hits.
I mean, no, it's just I love it so much, I don't want to say that it's just a cash grab.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it might have just been a cash grab.
Yeah.
I mean, not that there weren't many cash grabs in this wonderful fandom, but this might have been a cash grab.
Well, and we haven't even mentioned that it was only available on vinyl and cassette was only in Canada from what I can find. So vinyl was the only way to get this and still is today.
With the worst possible way to listen to anything.
Hey, now.
So... Sorry, Dave's a hipster. Okay, so next up, we have another original.
Yes, we do.
And this is Don't Sleep.
Written by Kevin Kelly and Stephanie Davey. Of course, she is, like I said, the vocalist that we hear on all of these. And yeah, this is an original, and I dig this one.
Well, it's not only fun, but it's 5 minutes long.
It's slow, too.
Yeah, it's time to get down. This one's for all the lovers on the floor who die in their sleep and then die for real. Does this remind you of your days in community radio?
A little bit.
How often did you play Freddy's Greatest Hits on community radio?
Never, but I did have it on there. I could have pulled it into House Party.
You had a chance.
I had it in my House Party file, and I never pulled it on.
You had a chance
to the air
to help the youth of Troy, Ohio.
I know. I dropped the ball on that one.
I've never been so disappointed in you in my life, and that's saying something. This song actually has some good vocal chops to it, too.
It reminds me of, I love the Shocker soundtrack, the Wes Craven film Shocker, and it's an amazing soundtrack. This reminds me of the one song that they have during the love scene towards the middle of the movie. Or the dream sequence, not love scene. Don't you look at me like that. You're telling me you couldn't see this in Shocker? Or hear this?
Well, I mean... I think Wes Craven would have been annoyed because it was from cashing in on his movies.
He didn't have to know.
Just listen to that shreddage. See, why not this song instead of that Dawkins crap in part 3, right?
I'm telling Dawkins you said that.
Oh, you're going to tell John Dawkins I said that?
Don Dawkins, thank you.
Is it Don Dawkins? I was just making something up.
You were close, though.
Oh, well. White guy names aren't hard to guess, okay?
Jacques Dawkins.
Oh, that you just reminded me, though. I did want to say a quick moment about Jacques Hatkin, I believe is how you say his name. You're not familiar with Jacques?
I'm not.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not.
I should have prepared this better. He was the director of photography on Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. I saw, that he unfortunately passed.
He just passed away. He was the DP on Nightmare on Elm Street and Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And I have spoken to people who worked with him.
Yeah.
And they all had incredibly good things to say about Jacques Hetkin. Oh,
You were right.
See,
okay.
I'm not confident when it's a dedication to somebody passing away. I'm like, I'm obviously going to say their name wrong. But he shot all kinds of memorable movies. And yeah, he was just an incredibly talented director of photography.
Yeah.
And of course, most famously, I think most famously would be
Maniac Cop 3 Badge of Silence.
He did Scanner Cop. I
and
didn't know that.
Relentless 3.
Remember, Dave, do you remember when I taught you the secret to film trivia? Which was look up the DP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look up the DP. He did Buried Alive, the TV movie, The Ambulance.
Annie Shocker.
He did so many great films.
He really did.
My Demon Lover. There's Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
And before Nightmare on Elm Street, he did Galaxy of Terror.
Oh yeah, he was in the Corman stable first.
That's awesome.
And he went on to direct or to photograph a lot of films.
What a legacy.
So I just want to say my heart goes out to him and his family. I'm sorry he passed away so young. He was not even 70, I don't believe. Oh, no, he's 72.
72.
But still, you know what?
Incredible body of work.
No matter what, it'll never be okay. So, anyway.
Hey, 12 Days of Terror. That's what I showed you.
Figured out, yeah. I figured I would talk about this during the down-tempo Freddy song. But Dave, if you want to stay alive, don't sleep. But
I'm not sure if this is my favorite, but it's definitely in the top 3.
See, I was going to ask what's your favorite.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I'll have to find out eventually. So, but it's quite a ballad.
Not one you'd expect on Freddy's Greatest Hits.
Oh, this is the one you wouldn't expect on Freddy's Greatest Hits.
I mean,
you were like, listen, I got it when it was Freddy and the Dreamers. I got it when it was in the Midnight Hour. I even got it when it was Dance or Else. Don't worry, it gets sillier, believe it or not.
well, it just feels like he's like, hey, I'm being forgotten. Let me laugh.
We're paying him by the laugh. Robert, would you please come into the studio to record these? No, you can record me in my car.
If and when we get Robert on the show, I definitely want to ask him.
I want to ask him about this and the hotline.
Yes.
Like, what was that day like?
Yes.
Or whatever.
Well, they made me a beautiful BLT, and they brought it into the sound booth.
I mean, we could all be so lucky.
So that was Don't Sleep. And that is probably, actually, I think I'm going to call it, that's probably my favorite song.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get to the other one in a sec, but I really do like Don't Sleep.
Don't Sleep is your favorite on here.
Might be.
Okay, because this next one
is this yours?
I'm not going to tell you until we're done listening.
All right, fair.
But I will say that this song was the most obvious one. I mean, other than If I Can Dream, which actually would have been hilarious, but really out of place. If I could dream, I could talk. And then Freddy would be like, wait, this is anti-war? I'm pro-nuclear war, remember?
Well, it could have been I Could Dream About You from, what was it, A Streets of Fire? I can dream about you.
Oh, gosh. On that note, this one is All I Have to Do Is Dream.
And this is a cover.
Oh, you don't say. By who? By who?
This is 1963 Boudleaux Bryant.
Well, but this is the Elm Street group.
This is the Elm Street group, yes.
And it's the cutest one of them all.
It is.
When I want you
The laughing.
in my arms, when I want you.
See, this is what I think of when I think of Freddy Krueger. I'm like, oh, to do is dream.
I know we've said this before, but it's like, again, I have to bring up that Freddy is the only horror character that could get an album like this. I don't know if anybody else could.
Dude, Michael Myers sings backup on Smash Mouth albums all the time. Haven't you heard the part where he goes,
I mean, okay, Chucky or the Leprechaun? I mean, Leprechaun did rap.
Yeah, let me in the hood, and he's up to no good.
Yes.
Oh, I love when Freddy says "aw" here. Oh, maybe it's the next one, but shut up, Dave. You ruined it.
I didn't ruin it.
You ruined it, and you know it. Da, da, da. I mean, this is what I think of when I think of Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm just sad we didn't get music videos to accompany these.
Or at least one.
Yeah. Especially to the Freddy.
Did you miss Freddy?
Just remember, all you have to do is dream.
Oh, yeah. Anytime, night or day. This is the big awe that I love. The only problem is she is. Oh, I love that so much. I want to imagine Freddy, like Robert Englund, was just like in the studio with the cans on, going like, oh. Dream.
Why didn't we get a duet at least?
We kind of do. At the end.
Yeah.
We should make an official music video to one of these songs.
There we go.
We'll go get one of those like silicone masks. Oh God, him singing here is painful. He does it again, don't worry. Yeeks.
Oh my God. Be seeing you.
So that is the aptly named All I Have to Do Is Dream.
Originally from 1963, but 1987, the Elm Street Group brought it to us in that style.
And not only did they bring it to us, they brought it back to the charts. That's right. It's All I Have to Do Is Dream by the Elm Street Group. And next up, we want to... God fucking damn it! Get Don on the phone. I can't do an up-tempo number and then go into a dedication to a child murderer. It's fucking ponderous, man. It's fucking ponderous. Fucking ponderous.
Oh, Casey Kasem.
I love Casey Kasem. I adore Casey Kasem. Especially when I realized he's Persian, I believe. Yeah, so it was actually Casey Kasem.
Yep.
But he got, it's just, I just think that's cool. Like,
That's very
because when I
cool.
read it, I immediately went, oh yeah, that would definitely be a Persian name. So.
What is next?
I don't know. Oh God, Obsession.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Obsession.
So Obsession
David.
is another original track done by Stephanie Davy. So to go into a little bit about the group real quick. So
Yeah,
on
tell
vocals,
us all about the Elm Street Group.
Yes. The Elm Street Group was made up of Stephanie Davy. It was also produced by Kevin Kelly, who did vocals, guitar, keyboards, producer, and executive producer, of course, with vocal help from Robert Englund.
Of course.
Recorded by Kevin Kelly and Lenny Stote, and they did this at the studio for the Moss Music Group, Inc., and they also recorded at Cove City Sound Studios and Between the Ear Studios as well.
Between the Ear Studios.
Yes.
Okay. So where'd you find that information? Was it in your diary?
That was Discogs and the Bloody Disgusting article they put out in 2018 when the re-release happened as well.
Oh, okay. I mean, I did notice a lot more people were aware it existed after that re-release. So that is good. Now, I guess it's time
For some obsession.
a little obsession. Do you think that's what gave Calvin Klein the idea?
The Freddy's Greatest Hits album?
Yeah.
Man, we can only hope. Do you like this one?
My God, just that opening.
Something evil came my way. I don't know just how or why. You're the thing I just can't face. The dark sea.
It's got some groove to it.
Yeah,
I can move to that.
You come in my dreams.
So her vocals, when they're writing them for her, there's a lot of like big, like operatic
Yeah.
kind of.
I was surprised because I wanted to see if she'd done anything else, and the only thing, her and, who was it? It was her and Kevin Kelly worked together with Arlen Roth, and like that was all that that she did, at least for Stephanie Davy. I didn't find much else about her.
Huh. I mean, it's possible that was not a real name.
And that's
or-
entirely possible, yeah, because I think she's a great singer, honestly.
Well, to me, it sounded like these are studio musicians,
yeah.
which are highly skilled people. They just get a lot of thankless work.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, to give you an example too, I mean, the guys that did that worked with Freddy and the Dreamers, Dennis Lambert, who did writing on Do the Freddy, he worked with the Righteous Brothers, Santana, the Commodores, Lou Courtney, also worked with Ray Charles, the Drifters.
Freddy and the Dreamers is one of the biggest bands in the world for a little while.
Yeah.
Until people decided for some fucked up reason they liked the Beatles more. Whenever people say, "Do you like the Beatles?" or I go, "Them."
Man, what if we got Freddy covering some Beatles?
I am the walrus. Cuckoo. Oh!
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty close. So far, this song and Don't Sleep are almost like what I would expect.
Yeah. I could see both of those in Dream Master, like especially like Don't Sleep during like the weightlifting scene when she turns into the cockroach.
Okay. Whoa, did you hear that whammy bar? Wow, 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 wow. Oh, listen to that, kids. That's how it's done. Take that math rock crap and shove it. This is the true virtuosity.
Oh man, I just saw what's next.
Well, yeah, I mean, they saved the best for later. I like how this week people were expecting their usual talk show. No, this is a full-blown variety show, my friends. This is so
Where else are you going to come and be able to listen to two guys talk about Freddy's greatest hits in such detail?
There's got to be two people as sad as we are somewhere. I mean, right?
All right.
Gotta be. I mean, I hope.
I would hope.
Or actually, maybe I don't hope. That obsession, baby.
These are good songs. I like re-listening to this today to prepare for the podcast. I was like, I really do enjoy this album.
I mean, it is fun. It's a fun album.
You know, you go to a house party and they need music, and you're like, man, I got my copy of Freddy's Greatest Hits right here. Party gets turned around.
I think that would be more of a House Party 3 if it would play that. But now we're getting towards the end of the album, my friends.
Unfortunately.
But this next one is pretty much, in my opinion, is kind of the last slapper of the album. Although you know, that depends on how you feel about the last two.
Well, this is the final cover.
Yes. This is, because why wouldn't it be on a Freddy Krueger album? Wooly Bully.
From 1979, made famous by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs.
Wooly Bully's only 79?
That's when they recorded it, at least, and they're the ones credited to it on the writing on the soundtrack.
Wow, I would have thought Wooly Bully was older.
Yeah.
Well, here, don't worry, you get to hear my favorite thing, which is Freddy speaking Española.
Uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And the way he says, watch me.
Now, watch it.
Bum, 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 bum,
It's
bum.
always slower than I expect it to be.
That's got a good tempo. Not quite my tempo.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
Oh yeah, you know it. He's come into your dreams to murder you.
Watch it now.
All right, I stand corrected. 1965 is the original release of it. So 65 is like the magic number.
Yeah, that's weird. Wooly Bully! Wooly Bully. They could have just been like, Freddy, Freddy. Freddy, Freddy.
It could have been Freddy, Freddy.
Yeah. Well, mine that I always thought they really missed out on was rewriting Louie Louie as Freddy, Freddy.
That could have been good.
I mean, it's got some groove.
I like to imagine it's Freddy on the saxophone.
Who else would it be? I mean, great. Now I'm thinking about him like licking his lips and then smiling with all the messed up teeth and then putting the saxophone in his mouth and being like, I'm the second worst person to play saxophone next to Bill Clinton. Yeah.
I don't know. That chicken Dr. Giggles wasn't too great.
Yeah, that's fair point.
Yep. No, that's Freddy. We're
Oh, yeah.
all just going to agree that's Freddy. If we have any art friends out there and you want to do a picture of Freddy playing the saxophone and send that to us, I'd be all for that.
I would have liked that, especially if he wore the sunglasses he puts on in the beach scene in Nightmare 4, but then he has a sax in his hands. I mean, Freddy is quite a bully. He murders children, so that'll do it. Wooly bully. I mean, do the Freddy in the midnight hour. All I have to do is dream. Wooly bully. They all are perfectly good songs.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the recordings aren't bad. It's just if you listen to these in the context that they're Freddy's greatest hits, it's strange. Go home, Freddy. You're drunk.
So that was Wooly Bully.
Was it, though?
Made famous by Sam the Shame of the Pharaohs from 1965, not 79, because I'm an idiot.
But watch me now. Watch me. Watch me now. Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, he is forever in my head playing that saxophone in that song.
Did you just hear the clacking of the claw?
Claws on it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, man. What's up next?
Next up is the last song with the lyrics.
Oh, that is correct.
And it's kind of I don't know, this one actually sounds like, to me, like it could be on the end credits of a Nightmare on Elm Street film.
I could see that.
After 3.
I could definitely see that, yeah.
It's called Down in the Boiler Room.
And here we go.
Well, who did it, David?
Well, Down in the Boiler Room's done by Kevin Kelly and Stephanie Davy again.
Well, I guess they don't deserve to be credited in your world. Jeez.
My apologies.
I love that it's got that.
Down in the boiler.
You know it's scary.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's dark. You ought to know. Be afraid to go. Listen to.
And at least this song is really written about Freddy.
Yeah.
Afraid to stop. And afraid to go.
Bitch.
It was probably, the meeting was probably like, yeah, you guys can have him, but he can't have any songs about the movies, and it has to be just original Freddy content.
Well, after what Freilich told us, that wouldn't surprise me.
No.
Down in the boiler.
Your mama told you.
I imagine like the musicians are like talking to Freddy, and they're like, wow, well, we're happy to play with you. We bet you can really shred. And with big smiles, and he's like, I don't play, I play a saxophone. No, but like shred, He's like, no, I don't play guitar or bass or I don't understand.
See, I would love to think that the meeting was actually not Robert, it was Freddy. But
Yeah, that's
and he was just a full-on diva, like with the glasses and everything.
Down in the boiler room.
In the boiler. Shake and wake up. Can this be an awful dream? No one else can see the things you see.
I gotta wonder how many people saw that in the record store and were like, well, do you have his original album? I'd like to know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, I don't want the hits, I want the deep cuts. That wasn't even on purpose. That wasn't even on purpose, kids. I'm just that damn good. That's what happened after 22 episodes of the show. I've written too many jokes.
Yeah, I want to think about what the first album would be called and what the cover would be like.
Oh, it would be Freddy Krueger, self-titled.
Yeah.
And he would just be like looking down, cigarette about halfway smoked between his fingers.
Yes.
The sweater is not on him. It's like over his shoulder. So basically, it's like an old Blue Eyes album.
Yeah,
Remember that era where all his albums were so
looked the
sad looking?
exact same, yeah.
But he looked so miserable.
Yeah, he did. Again, artist friends, if you want to do us a rendition of the original Freddy Krueger album, like Hendrik just described, we'll take it.
And actually write self-titled on it, too. Like, Freddy didn't understand. He was like, I said it's called self-titled. And they're like, okay.
All right.
We'll just write self-titled at the friggin' bottom.
This monster's real. And are you here to
Oh, my gosh.
He's waiting
Yeah, I need a supercut of him laughing every time on this album.
down in the boiler.
I imagine that would be jarring.
Shaking, wake up. Can this be an awful dream? No one else can see the things you see. You have been forsaken by the answers that
This is making me think we may need to do a bonus episode going through Have Yourself a Scary Little Christmas.
That has nothing to do with Freddy.
Yeah, but it's as good as this.
The Tales from the Crypt Christmas album's really great. Oh my gosh. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Man, they should have ended the album with Freddy being like, "What, you're still here? It's over."
You mean like at the end of Tales from the Crypt
No,
Christmas?
well, I was thinking Ferris Bueller, but yeah,
Oh,
I guess that's true
It's actually
too.
what they do at the
Yeah.
end. My
Well,
God, David.
No, they do. Are
Come
you
on,
still there,
Dave.
kiddies? The crypt is closing, and then you hear the door shut.
David, stop trying to make this show something.
So
it's
that was
not.
down in the boiler room.
It sure was. And that means because not only is this album a cash grab, it's only 9 songs.
Quickly done.
And so the last song it's a instrumental called Elm Street Dreams.
Yes, and also written by Kevin Kelly as well.
And it sounds honestly very much like a movie score.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And that's a good time to bring up the additional players we have on the album that I found.
Yeah.
So we've got the mix was done by Kevin Kelly and Rob Benston. Performers additionally were Alan Brewer, Bob Stander, Larry Lader, Mike Braun, Richie Kamada, and then it was produced by Rich Bledgeweiss.
Ah, good old Bledgeweiss.
So that is mainly all the players that I could find, according to Discogs and Bloody Disgusting. Like I said, if I've missed somebody or you personally worked on this album, we would love to hear from you.
Oh my God, if we could find people who worked on this, that would be so much fun to
Yes,
talk
it
about.
would.
I just want to know the process.
Yeah.
It's the nuts and bolts that always fascinate me. So here's Elm Street Dreams. Not really a lot like the rest of the album, although it has that kind of pop music, drums and stuff like that.
It's fun. So since we have an instrumental, let me go through some of the stuff I found out from Mondo's write-up in Bloody Disgusting. So once we said, originally released in 1987, at the height of the Freddy craze, Freddy had already had 3 movies under his belt and a 4th on the way. Even by then, he was a veritable pop icon, as Americana as hot dogs. This record contains 9 tracks, a mix of covers from the likes of Wilson Pick, the Everly Brothers, Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs, and original songs and instrumentals as well. The album is everything you expect it to be: screaming 80s drum machines, distortion-filled electric guitars being drowned out by synthesizers. Over the top in these songs is Robert Englund doing the voice and manic laugh of Freddy, of course.
Of course.
The actual music making was done by the Elm Street Group, who were much respected studio musicians working for RIC Records, featuring artists like Kevin Kelly and Alan Brewer, who both contributed to Rick Wakeman's soundtrack for The Burning.
What?
Yeah.
That's really interesting,
Yeah,
though.
it is.
That's actually fascinating.
Freddy's Greatest Hits was released during the height of his popularity. While this is something that would be completely silly by today's standards, especially the track Do the Freddy, it's something that Elm Street lovers and horror movie lovers in general would probably love to own. Mondo has priced the re-release at a very reasonable $25, which is much better than collectors could do otherwise. Original copies of the record, which were released on cassette as well, go for $100 or more easily. Now, this is back in 2018.
Yeah.
You'd be very lucky to find one for $50 or less, so this is a pretty solid deal. The re-release of Freddy's Greatest Hits went on sale Wednesday, November 22nd.
Why are you reading the sales information? Isn't it sold out?
No, well, it is, yes.
Okay.
But they basically put out only 400 copies of it pressed with that red and green.
Only 400? Oh, and then the rest were standard? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, do you feel special?
I do. Our buddy Ray got it for me, so thank you, Ray.
Oh, that's awesome. Good old Ray.
That was a birthday gift several years ago. But yeah, I like this. Oh, God.
Listen, you son of a bitch.
Oh, God, Freddy's here.
Freddy's here.
This song had lyrics,
Oh, did it?
but they cut them. Ironically. This was originally a song about, you see how it's all emotional and big, and
Yeah.
it was me singing about getting a kid to climb into my ice cream truck.
Oh, Jesus.
And how I have to keep adding to what I'm gonna give him as if he gets in the truck. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll give you candy and I'll give you a puppy.
Why?
So he'd get in my car so I could kill him.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
See, this part.
This part was like, he wants to kill kids. He likes to touch kids. Freddy is. I'm not a lyricist, but I do have DJ Jazzy Jeff's phone number.
And you have DJ Jazzy Jeff skills, too.
Thanks, bud.
No problem, buddy.
But I'm glad I could kind of get this out there, because as you know, I am a lyricist.
So, Freddie, when are we going to get a re-release of this, like, you know, on Apple Music or Spotify? Like, this isn't very widely available, and you'd think people would want to hear you, you know, bust your chops.
Steve Jobs knows what he fucking did. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here before this album turns me into a virgin like it has you guys.
That's fair. Bye, Freddie.
And don't call my hotline anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
that's rude.
Jeez.
All right, bye, Freddie.
Bye, Freddy. Gosh. A little harsh.
Very harsh.
I think he's really bitter. But you know what? I'm not bitter because... because we've just finished.
Oh. There we go.
Just a fart sound. We have just finished listening to Freddy's greatest hits with you, my friends.
The listening party, indeed.
My old roommate used to always call it Freddy's greatest shits. That was his like thing. He'd
That's
always be
funny.
like, you want to bust out Freddy's greatest shits? So anyway, it's about time for us to get out of here.
Oh, wait, before we go,
Oh, yes,
you gotta
yes,
tell me
Dave.
your favorite. You gotta tell me your favorite.
Oh, goodness. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna do a top three.
No, we got to do favorites. You can't do a top three. That's a third of the album. No.
All right, top 9.
Top 9. I think my favorite is probably... It's probably In the Midnight Hour because it's so ridiculous and he goes, ah! Like over and over. Wooly Bully is a close second.
Wooly Bully's a close second.
Just the
to me, too.
audacity of the covers. That's what makes the covers so great is they're so audacious.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, are you serious right now? And you're like, I guess you are. Okay. Fine enough, homie.
Oh, my
What about,
gosh.
so your favorite you said is Don't Sleep?
Don't Sleep, and close second is Wooly Bully, just because, like you said, you don't expect that, and then it just happens.
Well, like I said, he was quite a bully.
Yes, he was
murdering
quite a
all those
bully.
children and everything. So I think it's time for us to get out of
I
here.
think so,
but
too.
before we do, I want to say huge thank you. I've noticed out there, you guys, I've noticed you all rating us on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. I've noticed you guys rating us over at Spotify. It really helps the show. We are not a large show, but we are a fun show with a very specific niche that we're very proud of.
Yes.
So if you want to make sure new people check out this program, just go to your favorite podcasting app and make sure to leave a 5-star review because it tells people who may be curious about our show that they do want to listen to it.
And you can leave a 5-star review and then make the review make no sense at all. Be like, it needs more water or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
we'll
that'd be
take
fine.
it.
Yeah. I don't find the humor here dry, but okay. But no, that helps us immensely, so we really do appreciate it. And if you want to support the podcast in a very direct way, you can go to freddysnightmares.com and click on Patreon. At the $3 and up tier, you can watch us on video.
Yes.
When we do our show.
That when you
and,
can.
And it's I mean, I'm very proud of the production I've put into this.
I love what it's turned into.
Yeah, and one day you'll look at me and not at the monitor while I'm talking to you. That'd be good too. Dave is not housebroken.
I look at you enough.
Do you?
Oh.
Every time you go away. Dun, dun. But anyway, we got to get out of here. So until next time, this has been Welcome to Primetime, a Freddy's Nightmares podcast. We really hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you want to email us, reach out and cut someone, you can get a hold of us at freddysnightmarespod@gmail.com. And everything else is at freddysnightmares.com. We'll be back next week with even more Freddy ephemera, and eventually we're going to dive into the Freddy's Nightmares Season 2. We've been taking a little break to have a little fun.
Yeah.
Interviewing people and things like that. So, and make sure you're subscribed. Share this with a Fredhead friend.
Yes.
It couldn't hurt. And I'm sure they're a better friend than Dick. So until next time, we'll see you back at Springwood.
We'll see you.